Tonight we're writing a method of verification dispute letter after there's been absolutely no response from the credit bureaus. Now, this is an example letter, but I'm going to show you how to write a factual letter for credit sweeps, okay? Because it's a little bit different. Now, there's a lot of questions, including someone who asked me today about the method of verification and how to write it. So that is why we're breaking this down, okay? Now, if you take a look at this letter, it very simply states, on date, I requested that you send me the name and address of the furnisher of information who helped you verify that the type of public record filed on date was accurate. You have not provided me the contact information you're required to. Please delete this item immediately to avoid civil liability. I do not do this. Look at this. Please delete this item immediately to avoid civil liability. Now, obviously, I can't tell you what to do, but based on my 10 years of doing this and the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of deletions that I get, I'm going to tell you straight up, listen to me, please. Don't do it, okay? Avoid phrases like that. If you go back to, let me see if I can find it. Well, I have to do it this way. If you go back to, oh, I can do it. All right, I'm going to show you from my previous video. Mila note. Here we go. Phrases that you should avoid. And this is on the checklist to maximize your dispute letter. So let's take a look at that. We have pursuant to my intention, litigation, CC attorney, and anything that makes you look like a credit repair company or that you are not an authentic consumer requiring assistance. So this is one of those things. Please delete immediately to avoid civil liability, okay? So let's go and write our method of verification letter. Now, a couple of things that you want to keep in mind here. The method of verification is very simply a request for an independent investigation, right? They're never actually going to give you a method of verification. And thinking that you're going to get it is absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't work like that. They're never going to send over this information. So you have to ask it in a certain way while still using factual disputes. So let's pretend that we have our, let me just move my keyboard over here. Let's pretend we have our personal information. I guess I have to move my keyboard so that I can actually spell correctly, right? That would be great. Okay, let's try this again. Personal info is going to be here at the top. So we are going to pretend like we have our date and our bureau on there. And now we're going to write our dispute letter. So this first paragraph is actually going to be where we put our method of verification request, okay? So then after the method of verification, we're going to have our disputed accounts. And then it's very simply going to be a closing and then our name. All right, so this is what it would look like. So we're writing out our first paragraph, and it's very simply going to be, I sent a dispute letter last month requesting that you remove the following inaccurate accounts or that you update the inaccurate information, right? Because not all the time are we asking for a deletion. And it was ignored. I would like to know what your method of verification was. Or I'm going to show you how to write it a different way. And you may have seen this in one of my other videos, okay? I would like to know what your method of verification was, as well as the documentation to prove you performed an independent investigation. And that's all you have to put. Now, you can also request an independent investigation like this. So let me just write out independent investigation. And as you can see, I have my save text pull up. So if you were going to do that, it would look like this. I would appreciate it if you would send me a detailed report that goes over how you performed an independent investigation to determine the accuracy of these negative items or accounts. I know for a fact that you're not allowed to just agree with the creditor and that you actually need to come to your own conclusion as to the accuracy or validity of these items. Where's the proof? Why can't you send it to me? I am redisputing these accounts and including my previous dispute letter. And then you would put your disputed accounts. I'm also seeing that you're reporting the data last activity incorrectly. How can that be? Number one, send me the paperwork that proves that you did an independent investigation. Number two, correct or remove the following negative items because they contain violations. And number three, send me a new report that reflects these changes. Correct or remove per my instructions based on my most recent dispute letter that you clearly ignored. Now, obviously, we would chop this down, make it a little bit more simple, and then include our disputed accounts. So if I were going to take anything from this, it would be something that would make it look like I'm just a regular person, okay? It would be this last sentence right here on this paragraph. So I'm actually going to get rid of all of the rest of this stuff. Where's the proof? That's it. Now we're going to go and we're going to put our disputed accounts. So your disputed accounts would go right here. So we're going to say, let's use capital 1 as an example. 517805, put a dash. Delete this account for inaccuracy because, I don't know, the date last active reports. And then you would just put date. That's it. Please send me a new report. Thank you. Name. That's it. So as you can see, this is totally different than the other method of verification dispute letters out there, and that's because we're using a factual dispute. All right. So if you have questions about this, post it down in the comments, like this video. If you obviously found it valuable, subscribe if you haven't done so. And if you require assistance, use the link at the top of your screen. Head over to my740.com, schedule that call with me, and I will see if I could do this for you. But today we talked about a method of verification, no response dispute letter for factual dispute.